Now, today we're going to be going over Finviz. I'm going to give you the full breakdown of how to use the entire site. You guys definitely need to understand how to use this, because once you guys get to the level where you guys understand how to buy and trade stocks, the next thing you guys have to worry about is finding the right stocks to buy. So without further ado, let's hop in here. Now, there is a lot of stuff going on this website. First, we're actually just going to go back to the home page. There's a lot going on here, guys. You have the indexes on top. You have a tabs with home, news, the screener, maps, group, portfolio, insider trading, futures, forex, crypto, backtest, and elite. We're going to leave elite alone for now because elite's the paid version. I don't want any of you guys to pay if you guys don't have to. But that's up to you guys. First of all, what you guys should do, though, is in the link below, there's going to be a link to join Finviz. I need you guys to make an account, because when you guys make an account, it allows you to save your information. It allows you to save some presets that I'm going to give you guys to help you guys out, and that way you guys don't have to enter the information over and over and over again. So, we got the indexes on top. We have a heat map right over here on the right-hand side. We can kind of see where the money's flowing and where it's leaving, and as far as sectors are concerned. And then underneath that, you can see we actually have a lot of information right here. You can see the top losers, the top gainers. This is especially great information, especially at the market open. If you guys are into day trading, this is what you guys are going to look for. And that's why the elite version is so important, because the elite version is real time. As the free version that I'm using now, that's about a 15-minute delay, which isn't a lot, but when you're day trading, it is a long time. And then underneath that, you can kind of see right here a whole bunch of ticker names, and right here next to it, it says signals. So if any of you guys have done any technical analysis before, if you guys have seen any of those videos, if a stock is hitting the trend line like support, or it's hitting resistance or anything like that, this screen or this website will actually tell you, hey, it's getting close to resistance, hey, it's getting close to support, hey, those are inverted wedge or anything like that. It'll actually tell you, and then you can go up and look for more information about the stock, especially if it's in a bullish move. And on this side, you see some more things just like the channel up, channel down, channel, simple things. Underneath that, we have headlines. I don't usually use this too much. I normally have CNBC with some type of news source going on 24/7 next to me, or whenever I'm trading. But if you do want to see some breaking news, this is what you would come for right here. There's usually somewhat good news. If something has major news, you're going to see it underneath here, right underneath the heat map. You're going to see Tesla, Apple. If I was to click on Tesla, or let's go blue, because blue is down 37% today. I would scroll down, and then you would see all this news that's kind of piled up right here. A lot of news, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. Now, underneath that, you have insider trading. Insider trading is actually very fun. It's you're pretty much seeing who's been buying large chunks of stock, who's been taking large positions. And by large positions, I mean spending millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock, or that means an employee actually bought back some stock. Let's say I was the CEO of a company, and I wanted to buy 5,000 shares of my company's stock. I can't just go to Robinhood and buy it. I have to go through a certain procedure, and I have to sign a whole bunch of forms, and I have to go through the SEC to do it. And then once they go through the SEC, then it's put out there for public knowledge. That way we know as investors, hey, Mark Zuckerberg keeps on selling a lot of his Facebook shares, or this guy just bought a whole bunch of these shares. Maybe he thinks it's going to go back up. It's another set of information that will help you make those key trades. And then underneath that, you can see futures. Futures is just telling you what's going on in the market. It's not too important. Many of you guys will probably never trade futures. It's very hard to trade futures, to be honest. The most I see people trade futures is during major events that happen worldwide, like the presidential elections, or trade deals getting signed, or bailouts, things of that nature. That's where futures come into effect more broadly. And then going back up to this information as far as insider trading, I'm just going to tell you guys how to read this. It should be fairly simple, but just so you guys, in case you guys don't know how to do it yet, you're going to see the ticker right here. That's obviously the name of the stock. Latest insider trading. This is the actual individual that bought or sold the shares of stock. You're going to see his relationship to the company. For this instance, he's the EVP, the Chief Operations Manager. Or sometimes you see a 10% owner. That just means they own a significant portion of the company. You can see the date that they actually purchased these shares, whether the transaction was a sell or buy, or an options exercise, how much they bought them for, and how many shares they purchased, and the value of those shares. So pretty simple to read. Most of the stuff is going to be pretty simple for you guys to read, so But if you guys do have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll help you guys out a lot. Excuse me. And then you're going to see another type of insider trading over here. This is the top insider trading. So this is the top buying and top selling. So somebody just spent a whole bunch of money buying infrastructure and energy alternatives, which leads me to believe like they just spent $56 million. This might actually be a great play, like a very fantastic play if somebody just spent $56 million on it. So definitely going to keep my eye on that. Meanwhile, somebody just sold a whole bunch of medical care facilities, so Option Care Health stock, $319 million worth. So, you know, that leads me to believe that might go down eventually. Now, that's the main page. If you guys want any more clarity, they do have a first-time guided tour that you guys can take. Pretty simple. It just won't go in as in-depth as I am going for you guys right now. After that, we have news. There is a lot of news, whether you want blogs or just traditional news sites. You're going to find it all right here. There's no real easy way to filter this data out. The only way you can normally do it is by stock, which means you have to actually type in the ticker and then you can find news specifically on that stock. But I normally don't even touch this type of stuff. You can view by time or by source. Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg. I like Bloomberg personally. Bloomberg has a lot of good news. CNBC is okay, but CNBC seems to have CNBC likes to go for clicks rather than like good information. So you got to be careful about that. Anyway, moving off of news, we're going to go to the screener. Now, this is where you guys are going to struggle the most. This is where a lot of the information is going to come in, and this is where you guys have to be patient and just take your time to practice, and you'll understand it eventually. Now, there's 3 ways or 4 ways you can actually look at this page. Right now, I have the descriptive tab open. There's also a fundamental tab, a technical tab, and an all tab. I'm just going to use all for now. It's going to ask me to, get Finviz lead. I'm just going to say no. But you can see all this information. So if I click on technicals, that's just the technicals. This is just the fundamentals. This is just the descriptive. If I hit all, I get all 3 tabs all in one massive amount of, a large amount of data, excuse me. I can filter by the exchange, the market cap, the PB, ESP growth, a whole bunch of information. And if you guys don't know what these mean, like forward PE or sector or inside ownership, you could actually go over to the Help Center, open that up, and it actually has everything. PE, forward PE, PEG, has everything laid out so you guys can easily understand what's going on. I'm not going to go over all of it, but it's there for you. I'm not going to hold your hand all the way, but I'm going to get you guys going on how to do this. And this is as far as technical analysis, maps, groups, Finviz Elite, FAQ, guided tour, everything. You can find it on this website. And they make it pretty easy to learn too. I'm just making it a little bit easier, especially if you guys are new to stocks. You're not going to understand most of what I'm talking about. But that's why you guys are going to get the gist of it, go do some research and come back, and then your mind's going to be blown. So from here, we can tap on a few different things. I have a lot of presets. I like the swing one. So you can see there's a small float short. The 20-day, the stock price has crossed over the SMA 20. It's below the SMA 50 and it's below the SMA 200. This just means it's kind of low for where it should be, and hopefully it has the potential to swing. You can only see 4 stocks right there, not many. I could change the prices and things like that to under $50. That'd probably open up a lot more, yeah. And so something like CIZN might be something I want to take a closer look at. A lot of these, I'm wanting to watch it swing. I just stay away from biotech companies. That's my only rule. I stay away from biotech because if they have a bad trial results, their stock could fall 50% overnight. It's pretty scary to watch that happen, especially if you have a lot of money invested in it. But you're going to find a whole bunch that work for you. Kingmaker Enhanced, that one doesn't have anything right now. Usually when something's really popping on, you'll see it a lot. Let's go right here. There we go. And you can see 10 good plays that could happen right here that have the potential of popping pretty soon. For this one, yeah, it'd be the CBFV. This thing wants to pop. It wants to, what is it at right now? $19. You'd want to see that hit to $24. So if they had options, maybe I'd be buying some options for a few months out. But you have a lot of toys to play with here, a lot of things. There's a lot of people that can tell you what type of screeners work best for them. I usually just go with the Bromos. Bromos is a really great guy. He's famous in the Discord world. I've talked to him many times. We used to do a lot of work together on Discord. But something cool you guys can do, you can see there's like 918 stocks here because this is pretty broad. But I could actually make this under $10. I could have the market cap go under let's go under 2 billion, so it's a smaller market cap. And then what I'm going to actually do is, you can see a lot of these tabs right here. So overview, valuation, financial, ownership, a whole bunch of stuff. You guys really don't need to know much about that, but if you click on charts, you're going to see everything in chart form instead of just a nice little, straight line of information. It's a lot easier to look at the charts because then you can see, oh, that's not the right time to buy. Maybe I'll buy it later. And you can see not much going on here as far as something I might want to buy. And you guys are going to have to learn on what type of charts you guys want to purchase. Like right here, this one seems okay. It's medical devices. It's market cap of $32 million. Yeah, $32 million. So we can check this out right here, and you can see it already has a little bit of free technical analysis done for us. Now, this is stuff I might do myself on Thinkorswim, or if you guys have Schwab, Fidelity, something like that, you guys could do this all from their platforms for free. But it's nice to see they already have a level of resistance right here that it's trying to break through. It looks like it might actually have closed above that, and then it's going to try to break through this next level of resistance right around $8.30. So if it does that, we could actually see a swing from about $8.30 all the way back up to about $15-ish, which would be a great short-term gain because it would happen within a span of like 2 weeks. Great, and you'd make about 30% back for it, and that's not without options. So there's a lot of stuff. But now that we're on this page, let me talk a little bit about what you can do here. You can go back to the screener, you can publish a chart, you can save the portfolio, you can create an alert if you guys want to create an alert. And this is where I was talking about, hey, if you guys want to use the link in the description below and make an account, that way you can actually save your alerts and things of that nature. You can control what this chart looks like, whether it's a candle, a line, or advanced, or interactive, or perfect. Let's see. Okay, that one you have to pay for it. Some of these you have to pay for it, but line should be free, yeah. You can see like that. It looks way different. Depends on how you like to trade. I like to use the candle bars because that's how most of us are taught. Now, you can also go by intraday, weekly, and monthly. Intraday is not for free. You have to pay to use it. But weekly and everything else are fine to go. And you can see on the weekly, it looks like it wants to curl back up. So this might be a long-term hold because it even went up to $42 at one point. But realistically, if you were to hold this, it might go back up to 24. That's what I would expect it to go to as far as AHPI. And that's with I haven't done any due diligence on it, just kind of looking at the chart itself. Now, as we go down, you're going to see a lot of information about the stock and about the company itself. You're going to see the name right here, what sector it's in, and pretty much just what field it's in, and then what state, what country. Country doesn't really matter too much as long as it's not somewhere like China. China makes it a little bit harder because China doesn't have to disclose all the same information, so a lot of times you just don't have as much information when you're making your trades, which can be a problem. But that's why I tend to stay away from Chinese stocks unless they're somewhere in the EV sector. But you're going to see gross margin, operation margin, profit margin, beta, ATR volatility. Again, all this stuff can be found in the help section of Finviz. If you have any questions about it, go there. It's going to have a nice, clear explanation. If it does not, ask in the comments below and I will help you guys out. My goal when I do these videos, for the few that are still watching, because I know this is very boring, is to kind of spoon feed you just a little bit as we're getting started about how to start making money in the stock market. If you guys have the time to watch this entire video, your chances of surviving the market go up exponentially because it shows that you have the diligence to actually watch through an entire video, not get bored, not try to find an easy way out. Because I'm going to tell you now, as a full-time trader, trading is hard. It's not something that anybody can do, and that's why about 80 to 90% of all traders fail. Who would have thought? Now, underneath all this information, you can see a whole bunch of news. You can see the date right here. The news came out. Sometimes there's not a lot of news. Sometimes there is a lot of news. But it's a whole bunch of news. And to the right, if any of you guys actually use StockTwits, this is where you guys would actually see that information. So this is just the StockTwits, just account. Anytime somebody posts on StockTwits for this specific ticker, it's going to show up right here. So it's actually, it's pretty nice to see, just to get a vibe of what the community is feeling. I think it's just more of a community vibe. If you want to, you can always hop into StockTwits and check it out yourself. And then underneath this is more of I don't even use this, to be honest. It just gives you a little bit more revenue information. It's pretty much another way for them to try to make you buy the paid version. The paid version is fine. Don't worry. It's worth the money. Definitely worth the money. But if you guys don't have a lot of money and you guys don't know how to use the site yet, it might just be worth it to make your own account and just practice along with it. And then normally what you'll see underneath here is also insider transactions. So if I was to go through a ticker like Microsoft Corporation, if we went all the way down, you would see insider trading right here. So you can see a lot of people have been selling the Microsoft shares. The executive vice president on January 28th sold 18,000 shares for a value of about $4.4 million. That's a lot. And what that leads me to believe is pretty soon there's going to be a pullback. There's going to be a big pullback in the market, and all the rich people are slowly starting to take their money out. So keep that in mind as you start trading forward. This is a great time to be trading, but at the same time, it's a very risky one because, this was COVID right here, guys. This was COVID. And look how much further we've gone up after COVID. The world still seems like crap outside, if you ask me. So, we're going to see a pullback eventually. But you can definitely see some good stuff here as well as far as Microsoft is concerned. And let me go back up here. Now that's all for this page right here. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of information here, but take your time, go to the help page. You can learn it. I guarantee it. And also right here, most people don't use this, but if you guys are long-term investors and you guys care what the banks say about if they're going to be giving it an upgrade or anything like that, this is where you're going to come. These places will reiterate it, they're downgrade it, or they'll upgrade it. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but most of the time, you can't trust them. You just have to kind of go with the consensus of how they're doing. Now, after the screener page and the detailed page showing about a specific stock or ticker, we're going to go over to the maps page. This may seem overwhelming, but if you like to trade by sector, this is really important for you day traders or for you swing traders out there. If you'd like to trade by sector, this is where you're going to come to for information a lot. You can kind of see in the financials, a lot of them are green. And if you see something like that happen, where a lot of tickers in one area are green, but one is red or something like that, you might want to hop in that red one because eventually it's going to catch back up to all the other ones. And you can even see right here, semiconductors, everybody but AMD and this, I don't even want to try to pronounce that. The XLNX, everything else is up for the most part except for QCOM, which is just down to 20%. This is definitely something you might want to hop into right now. For a couple of days, make a few percent, take that money off the table. Energy, everything else, everything's popping right now as far as energy is concerned. So what you might see is a lot of energy stocks starting to pop off. So if I would actually click on this, can I click on this right now? It doesn't let me. If you have Finviz, you can click on this and it's really nice. But let's just go to ZOM for a second and see what we can find out. ZOM. Okay. Oh, that's not the right one. I think I'm talking about a stock that I did for. Oh, that's ZOM. Oh, XOM, sorry. Okay. XOM, there you go. Now you can see this is actually broken above a level of resistance, so now it's looking pretty good as far as Exxon's concerned. And you can see how, it's been a while since they've done anything really big. And you can see towards the beginning of the end of last year and the beginning of this year, a whole bunch of upgrades. But by then, guys, let's see. It was already popping. So, they were just proving that, hey, we think it's going to go up in the future when it was already going up. So, you go down, you can see a few insider trading activities. But my point is, if you go right here and you go to energy or oil and gas, whichever one you want to click on, you can see, look at all that. Everything is green. Everything is green. And something might be not as green as others. Like, let's see, let's go by change. 0.63%. Chevron, it's a little bit down, but if we actually go by market cap, right here, this AE, this one might want to pop. What is it at? USA, yeah. I stay away from ones that aren't in America, so maybe go to NFG. NFG still at cheap kind of priced. A lot of these are outside the United States. But I could expect a lot of these to pop in the next few days. And you guys may think, Michael, like 4 or 5% is not a lot. 4 or 5% is what you guys are going to be looking for as you guys start off. You guys may think, I'm going to hit 20% every week after week after week. If you try to do that, your risk is going to go up a lot, and your reward is not going to be worth it. And when you have a little bit of money, you can't invest it. You have to be smart about how you invest it. You really do have to be smart about how you invest your money. Now, After maps, we can go to groups. Groups is, yeah, this one's pretty much kind of similar to heat map, but you have to just, it just gives you a pretty good idea of what's happening day by day. You can see energy was big today because of everything going on with Texas and all the natural gas and everything getting shut off right now. Financial going up, big banks are having earnings pretty soon, and everybody likes making money with the banks. Basic materials, everybody's getting ready for an infrastructure bill, so everybody's loading up on infrastructure plays right now, which is a wink wink. Check out some infrastructure, plays. Communication services, okay. And then you can see consumer cyclicals down, industry is down, technology is down, and most of all, healthcare is down. And you can see, you can go 1 day performance, 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, half a year. See, ever since COVID, everything's been taking back off, especially communication services. Energy's been booming, communication services again, energy, everything's been booming except for utilities. And yeah, utilities have been lagging the entire time. And you can see back from last year, energy had a horrible time. But year to date, it looks like energy is on top, but then we got communication services, and utilities is still down. So, when you do that, it kind of helps you pick out your potential swing plays, especially if, consumer cyclical or communication services have been in the top 3 a lot. You can expect them to continue being in that lead until there's some type of major change. But by then, you'll kind of see something in the technical analysis, and you'll be out before everybody else loses their money. And then here we got portfolio. So I play around with this a lot. You can make a fake portfolio. I have actually a lot of this in my retirement account. But what I do is I just kind of keep track of it here so I don't have to open up my Vanguard, because opening up your Vanguard is incredibly just annoying. It's not like an easy process. But you can see, what was this? Last June, I bought a whole bunch of stocks. And those are up 33% for NCMI, up 133% for TSQ, and up 287% for GCI. And then last week I bought 500 shares of ENSV. It's oil and gas, because guess what? I knew that oil and gas was going to keep on going up. And what ended up happening is it's up 15%. Now, from the 15th, let me just see how many days that was. The 5th, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in 11 days, I got 15% back on my investment. That's fantastic. You could aim for 100%, you could aim for 200%. But guess what? It's not going to work out that way all the time. You guys have to understand that. Be smart. Wait a week if you have to. Wait 2 weeks if you have to. Wait for that money to start rolling in, and then take your profits whenever you feel comfortable. So, that's just a safe way to trade. And then also, you're going to see all the news related to the specific stocks you have in your portfolio. And then you could have, I have another portfolio keeping my eyes on. I haven't used this in forever. Let's see. And you can see back in May, a month before, you can see a 423% gain, 35% gain, and 77% gain. And this is why part of me always says, hey, you guys don't have to become day traders. I know a lot of you guys are, very enthusiastic about making money in the market. But if you would have just waited 7-8 months, you could have had 423% back on that investment, 35% on another investment, and 77% on another investment. Now, guys, sometimes it's worth just to hold. That's exactly what I do as far as my retirement account is concerned. I like to buy a lot of these smaller stocks because they're so cheap, and just let them ride. Anyway, after that, we can go to Insider. But that's another reason why you guys want to click on the description and set up a link, because you want this information to be saved. Insider, this is pretty much what we saw on the original page. If we would go back to home for a second, remember this little section down here? Well, now we have a larger section to check it out, and you can filter it by however you want to do it by. Let's see. Let's go by top insider trading recent week. A lot of people are selling. A lot of people are selling right now, which leads me to believe something is going to happen in the market in the foreseeable future. And I'm not talking immediately. I'm talking about 1-2 months. Something's going to happen where a lot of these are a lot of this money is just going to cause the market to drop. But you do see a lot of buying for infrastructure still. So infrastructure is still doing very well. This biotechnical company is doing okay. I stay away from biotech, as I said before. TSC is retail. Everything's getting sold at retail. There's not much green in here. That's kind of alarming. But you know what? That's kind of how the market works. And you can see for a lot of these stocks, as you look at this little mini charts, you can see they've kind of all reached new highs, which means a lot of the CEOs and those guys are taking their profits and running. You know, they're going to have to pay taxes on it, but hey, they don't have to pay taxes until next year because, you know, this year's already started. So you can see a whole bunch of people. That's way more selling than it is buying. So I'll just tell you that right now. As far as the market's concerned, be careful as we move forward. Futures, I won't talk too much about this. You guys aren't going to trade futures, at least not for a year, not for maybe 3 or 4 years. It just, you can try to learn if you want to. It's not really worth your time at this point in time, just because you guys are going to mess up because futures are so whacked. Futures change based on whatever's happening. You guys may be betting that the stock market's going to go up in the next morning and play some futures. All of a sudden, a bomb goes off or something like that from Iraq or something like that, and it drops the futures down from up 200 to down 100, and you just blowing your whole account. You got to be very careful about how you do options, or not options, futures. And then after futures, we have Forex. Forex is another thing where you're not going to want to try this right away. I have a friend that actually trades Forex, and he doesn't do it full time. He's an options trader full time, but he says 90% of all Forex traders lose money. They give up because they lose too much money. I highly recommend you don't trade futures or Forex until you have a solid understanding of how to trade stocks and options. And that way, if you understand how to trade stocks and you understand how to trade options, you'll be able to, in a very simple way, throw some money at it, YOLO money, to learn. Because you might want to start off with $1,000 for Forex, because Forex isn't like normal money. Forex is you're taking a loan from a bank in order to make a Forex trade, which I know a lot of you guys don't feel comfortable taking a massive loan out for a bank. And when I mean a massive loan, I mean tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars you're taking from a bank to make a trade. So you have to be very careful about how you play those. And then crypto, this is of course the most newest one. XRP is down 10%. Jesus, XRP, what happened to you? But you can kind of get a general idea of what's happening as far as the cryptocurrency market's concerned. If we go to the month charts, you can see just how everything's been kind of performing. You guys might not be able to tell it since it's kind of dark in these backgrounds, but the chart changes, not the numbers, because the numbers are going to stay the same, but the charts definitely change right here. And then you can go by performance, see which stocks have been performing the best. And that's right now, that's Bitcoin to the European dollar, or to euro, and then next is Bitcoin to the US dollar. And then Ethereum, of course, and then XRP. They don't talk about Dodge because I don't think they realize Dodge yet, but they will eventually. Then you have backtesting. This is a premium feature if you want to go back in time and look at see if you could have changed up your strategy to find a good play. That's definitely worth the $25 a month. It's only $25 a month. That may be a lot for some people, maybe nothing to others. If you guys have the money, I'd highly recommend you guys sign up for the paid plan. If you guys do not, don't stress about it. Take your time and build up the money so you can just pay for it. But make sure that you guys use the link in the description, because if you guys don't sign up and make an account, let's say you do a screener and you just pop down a whole bunch of random stuff, hold, option, shortable, and that, you're going to want to be able to save this. And so, if you don't have an account, you're not going to be able to save it. Then you're going to have to redo it every single time, which will just be, honestly, it'll be very, very annoying to have to deal with. But then, and fun fact, if you guys do want to reset this, there's a little tiny reset button right here. Reset it, and then everything goes back to normal. So that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was kind of long. I kind of dragged on for a little bit. But I hope I gave you guys a pretty clear understanding of how to use the whole of Finviz. If you guys do have any more questions, remember you guys can go to the help section. And if the help section doesn't work out, feel free to ask me anything in the comments below, because I will be happy to help you guys out. Because there was a lot of information in here, a lot of information. Thanks everyone. Make sure to subscribe one more time for those few that actually stayed for the entire video. Hope this helped you guys out. Thanks again, everyone.